Hey, Nation, back with Dennis Wilson, Dennis with one N out of Southern California, looking like Southern California a little bit there in that shirt. How you doing?
Yeah. Feeling good and having great weather and nice temperatures. It's really tough to live here.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I was just having this talk, as you know, after 32 years, and the listeners know it's coming up on 2 years ago. I relocated to Austin. Same story. Austin from roughly now till June is very, very nice, right? A Texas winter is very pleasant.
Mhm.
And Seattle, God bless them, but Seattle can be horrible, right? They're headed into some horrible weather.
Yeah.
And sitting down here, low 80s every day. It's just nice, man.
Well, my in-laws were in Austin, and my family is in the what the harbor, Aberdeen, Hoquiam. I forget what the harbor that's called down in that
Yeah.
area, but I mean that's even worse than Seattle is because it's
Yeah.
on the Pacific.
It
and
is.
Just rainy all the time.
It is. Well, hey, let's jump into it. Malware-as-a-Service. What's going on? That's interesting.
Yes, I did a blog. I ran into this just a couple of days ago. I titled the blog "Malware-as-a-Service is popular in all the wrong places," and it cracked me up because it included all the things that we would normally put into selling a product ourselves, and it was being handled or being attached to a malware. It seems odd. It seems wrong. The one in particular I ran into was a malware called Erbium, Erbim, Erbium, and it hides out as a cheat on video games, and therefore, it tends to be the kids and the young, the 20 and 30-year-olds that really get into the video games, and they're the ones that are being hit by this one. And principally, this thing it says it's affordable, has excellent customer service, a wide array of skill sets can be used that in a way that the user will never find out that they've been hacked. It will steal things like passwords, cookies, credit card numbers, autofill information, cryptocurrency wallet information, and the two-factor authentication credentials. And it costs $100 a month, and for that you can add this into whatever it is that you're doing, and and be in the business of malware, be in the business of hacking. It's absolutely nuts.
Man, this is this is disturbing. I mean, I get the humor side of it and all that, but it's a little bit like if you were a cardiologist and maybe you were unethical, you would encourage your older patients to eat beef and not trim the fat off the beef. You see where I'm trying to go with this? What would a cardiologist do to increase business? Well, the last thing he wants is the largely vegetarian country of India where people ride bikes and they don't drink, right? That's the last thing a cardiologist wants. So it's a different mentality. But yeah, I guess I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that someone come out with that. Now, how are they escaping law enforcement? I mean, the hacker group, the activist hacker groups that are typically on the good guy side.
Yeah, there's I forget who it was. I had the name of the people. It's a group that is not very well known, or at least to me, that had found out about these guys. And it's a pretty new malware, actually. It said it's gotten into the U.S., France, Colombia, Spain, Italy, Vietnam, Malaysia, but that's a relatively small group versus the world. And so it's new, and it looks like it's only been out for maybe 6 weeks, and so It really hasn't been found yet. I mean, that we know it exists; it's there. but it really hasn't, taken over the world yet. But certainly things like this are going to take over the world. I mean, they're talking about good customer service. That was the one thing that malware didn't have, was any customer service. If you can get customer service with this at a cheap price, why not? You can go into business for yourself really quick. There's just it really is. It's not only sort of funny, but it's as you were saying, it's very, very disturbing, because that means that the stuff that's going to be hitting where I live is going to be much more difficult to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, you always have an interesting topic. That's for darn sure. Well, I'll tell you what. In the spirit of time management, let's reconvene next quarter, check in, and figure out what other. Oh, hey, one final question. I'm sorry, I spaced.
Yeah.
You're a long-term player in the content strategy area. I draft behind you, and it takes time. We've kind of had this talk, but how's that going? Because you are consistent up on LinkedIn. Is it working for you to your satisfaction?
Yeah, that's the key. Quite honestly, it's working. It's not working to my satisfaction, and I'm actually looking at the various players and talking to the various pundits and see if I'm not doing something well, or if it's just, I kind of think that this is a sort of a malaise that should be hitting everybody. I mean, we're getting a lot of advertising that is no longer being very effective. And I don't know what is being effective, but I think that the kinds of things that I'm doing with the content and it has to be there, but there's other stuff that I should be doing that isn't there, and I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. Well, when you find out, tell me.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next quarter. I'll make a note of what's effective for an MSP. All right, Dennis. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have fun. Bye-bye.